Empathy as feeling into is the motor that powers our abilities to enlarge our perceptions, to see the world differently, to see things in many different ways, and to challenge the belief systems that might be holding us back. And now that we have a good understanding of this habit, let's take a look at the history of this habit and how the idea and practice of it changed over time. In modern times, empathy as feeling into began with this philosopher, Johann Gottfried Herder, who claimed that this habit helps us to suspend our biases and to consider the different perspectives of those within different nations and cultures. For Herder, empathy as feeling into was also important for challenging the overly rigid and rational interpretations of nature that were common during the Enlightenment. During the same era, the poet Novalis believed this habit of empathy helped us to overcome our feelings of separateness from nature by feeling into and feeling at one with the wonders of nature. Herder and Novalis described this first habit of empathy as feeling into, with the German verb sich einfühlen, which means to feel oneself into. This understanding of empathy as feeling into was modified in the tradition of German aestheticism in the 19th century, and then again it was modified in the tradition of psychology in the 20th. For instance, Robert Vischer contended that empathy as feeling into was a habit important for aesthetic appreciation, and he coined the term Einfühlung to explain this powerful habit we are calling empathy as feeling into. Einfühlung signifies our ability to observe, analyze, and appreciate great works of art. At the turn of the 20th century, the psychologist Theodor Lipps built upon Vischer's understanding of Einfühlung and believed that this habit was the technique we use to grasp the experiences of others and to read into the thought processes of other people's minds. This idea was taken up by other 20th century theorists of psychology, for example, Sigmund Freud, who believed that empathy as feeling into was an essential skill by which psychotherapists were able to simulate imaginatively the experiences of their patients. The history of empathy as feeling into, or projective empathy, then, went through three historical phases. For the Romantics, like Herder and Novalis, the objects of empathy were the different cultural perspectives of others, our own biases, and the beauty of nature. For Vischer and other 19th century theorists in the German aesthetic tradition, the object of empathy as feeling into were works of art, for example, a painting, a sculpture, or an architectural form. For Lipps, Freud, and the psychologists of the 20th century, the object of this habit were the experiences of others and the content and inner workings of their minds.